Alright. Yeah, hold it right there, it's fine. Go ahead and cut it a little harder. Other way, other way. Keep going. Right there, right there. Alright, straighten it out a little bit. Right there. So what's it like to drive in a 69?
Not a real one.
What a tool. Don't turn it back now. Alright guys, we are done pinning the doors, and they came out alright, not too bad. The hardest thing about these old cars is just getting them so all your lines are straight. You always want to line up to the quarter panel and then work your way that way. What was I going to tell you? From this car twisting and turning and just being an old, a 69, things changed. So we did the best we could on getting the doors lined up back to normal. Just drops just a little bit. I sat here probably for 35 minutes trying to adjust the door lock, door pin thing on the inside. I kept moving it, shutting the door. It wouldn't close. I move it, shut it, whatever. Like I said, we got it the best we could. But at least my doors, when I open them, they don't just drop anymore. And so put new pins in, put brass bushings in. It feels pretty solid. And closes pretty good too. So that's what we did, I think, yesterday. Just jacked around with that. Now what I want to do is, I think I showed you that I got the front clip off. Yeah, you see that. So what I want to do now is get this pushed out, just the nose pushed out of the shop. And then I'm going to pressure wash the inside because we're going to spray paint all the inside of this. I was kicking around not doing that, but since we got a little bit of time, and I might as well get it as nice as I can. And unfortunately, I think I said this, I'm not going to be able to match the paint like Mopar. They paint the firewall the same color. So Mopar guys, don't get mad at me. It was already black. This paint is not what you think it is. It's not just like a mustard yellow paint that you could get at the paint store. It's got like some green in it, and I think that's from, this car was like 3 different colors from what I'm understanding now that I'm kind of prodding around and taking things apart. I think it was green, blue, and now it's yellow. So with the green underneath the yellow, it's got like a greenish, like a slight green to it. So anyway, short story long, we're going to end up just painting it black, and then I could just paint everything inside this compartment black. And if I were to do this yellow, if I did have the same color, I'd have to tape off all the bars, tape off the frame rails, because I wouldn't want those yellow. I just want the firewall yellow. So anyway, so I know some people get a little upset when we do that to Mopar. It is what it is now. I'm not going to cry about it because it's still going to look legit.
No. Pretty Caroline, stone cold stunner. She was a winner, started working at the diner.
All right, back at it. Good Thursday morning to you. I just wanted to, I'm trying to keep up with these videos so you know exactly what I did to get this car going, so you can follow along with me and check out everything that I'm doing as well with this car. After I pressure washed it yesterday, I figured out this thing's got about 3 different colors on it. We went from blue to a green to the inside here was painted gray. And I'm sure it looked pretty nice when they first painted it. This is a nice color actually, but over time and you know all the wear and tear and stuff, it kind of just chipped away and it just looks horrible. So we're going to go with black. I'm going to go ahead and tape off all the wires that are coming through the firewall. One thing I did want to do though before we get into that is the frame and some of the, I don't know, the old, what is this, the old radiator support, everything just seems to be bent to crap. And I don't know, that's just from years of abuse, pushing and pulling the car around the backyard, who knows. So I'm going to get a hammer here, maybe put a little bit of heat on this K-member, bend this back, just try to get this thing bent back into shape here, things along those lines. Now, I'm going to also rerun a few of the brake lines. The brake lines seem to be pretty legit in this thing. They're not super rusty or anything. They're steel, so the only thing that I don't like about them is the way they bent them. They kind of like didn't go around corners real nice, and kind of like what I like. I like to like go down and make nice turns and make everything look pretty decent on this. And I think we're going to go ahead and replace a few of the brake lines, stuff like that. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about on, if you can't see right away. This lower radiator support, you can see it's just bent to crap. I'm just going to take a hammer and just kind of get that thing straightened out. And one thing that is bothering me is this K-member's pushed up right here from a jack or something lifting up on this a long time ago, who knows. So I'm going to knock that back down, and as you can see, I got about 3 different colors of paint on this thing. You got some lime green in here. You got some blue. I'm thinking this was an original blue car. I wasn't really sure at first, but now that I'm looking at the colors, I think it's blue. You can see right down in underneath the firewall there, where that seam is. You can see that it was blue there. So we got blue, we got gray, we got green, we got silvers popping up. So we're going to just go ahead and paint all this and make it look half-a presentable. We got all the panels bent back into shape the best that they're eyeballed straight, you know what I'm saying? So they look good, they look presentable. What I'm doing is just going around, kind of roughing up some of the paint. If there's any rust spots, paint chipping, I'm just going to hit it with sander real quick. But when they took the old engine mounts out of the K-member, the moldings where the engine mounts slide into, there's just some like, it almost looks like they hit it with a torch, and then you got that extra little melted slag that sticks up a little bit. So what I'm trying to do is just take the sander, just kind of go around that stuff, smooth out some edges. You know, they rough cut everything with a grinder and yeah, torches. So nothing too bad. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary. Just if you would just take the time just to kind of smooth everything out, that's all I'm doing. So let's keep on continuing, and we are going to get to it. right, got our plate, got the water pump off. This thing's so much nicer because it's already cut down. You could get it in between the rails compared to that other one I bought. Make it, there it goes. All right. Man, we had that thing all mocked up perfectly, even with the cardboard. Kind of impressed with that. So basically, I wonder if this engine can get back just a little bit. It looks like it could probably go back about a 1/4 inch or so. And I think that engine mount will move around just a little bit enough to make this engine go back, sit back a little farther. Because if you could see, and this was all mock-up with the cardboard, so this is not bad. But right here, if you can see that, I got just a little gap. So I think there's enough play just to get this engine back about another, I don't know, like I said, I don't even think it's a half. It's probably like just over a 1/4. We'll see. I really didn't want to have to pull these off and re-weld them. I think they're fine the way they are. But we will see with what we got here, guys. So, but this is a nice plate. I think, like I said, I think I paid $1.80 for it, and it goes right around your original timing chain cover, so you don't have to get crazy with that. It sits enough. Like I said, we got that. Well, I'm going to use my original. I'm trying to do everything on a budget, being, you know, this is my first kind of like really setting up a drag car. And I'm going to use my oil filter in the stock location. I'm trying not to relocate that, but we'll see how everything goes on that end. And basically all I got to do is get this thing butted up to the brackets on the frame rails, throw some nice case hardened bolts down the throat, and I think we could dang near just let this motor just sit where it wants to be. Then I could probably get it back out. We'll paint the inside of the engine compartment, and then I'll slowly start putting this thing back together. A buddy of mine told me maybe I should have this engine dynoed and tuned. There's no dyno around here that does that. I think the closest one's about a 4-hour ride. So I don't know if we're going to be able to pull that off. We may have to do it old school. You know, all your buddies come over and do the best they can. All right, guys, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. What I want to do is just for a final shot of this car. It's nice and sunny today, probably about 72. Perfect time, prime time for me to paint outside, no wind. So I'm gonna knock out the inside of this engine cradle, and then tomorrow I'll put it back on the lift and probably do the calipers and stuff like that, take the wheels off and do it right. But right now I'll hit the majority of it on this, and we'll keep on going. So here we go. All right, we're getting there, guys. I ran out of paint, so I had to make another batch real quick, and I think we'll be able to hit the inside and be done for today. Get it rolled back in until tomorrow. So she's looking pretty good. Remember, this was already black. I know a lot of Mopar guys get upset because it's supposed to be yellow or whatever the original color of the car was. I mean, obviously, if it's yellow, you want to keep it yellow. One, I would never be able to match that paint, and two, everything else is black anyway, so it is what it is now. So don't get mad at me. So I'm gonna keep on going and keep on painting, and we're gonna get it done. All right, guys, so we're doing it. Part 2, 69 Roadrunner, pulled out of the back of Ed Miller's place. You've seen those videos. We're just doing a part 2 for you. So, you know, mock up, paint a little bit, make this thing look as pretty as it can be. And, you know, just getting her done, but just showing you what it takes to make something like this happen for the No Name Nationals, of course. So make sure you guys join me there. Missouri, that's going to be a trip from North Carolina, but we're going to make it happen, or at least try. But my name's Brad, Poor Boy's Garage. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, P.O. box in the description box below if you want to send us anything for sticker shout out. Bradley's wrenchin@gmail.com if you want to send me an email. Or don't forget to look us up on Facebook, Poor Boys Garage, the group page. Instagram as well, Poor Boys Garage _. So I'll do the best I can to answer all those questions. And yeah, let them rip, not rot. Keep on saving them. Don't send them to the crusher. We'll do part 3 coming up. We're going to pull that engine apart, kind of slide the cam out, see what we're working with. And until then, we're out.